listening to All Chiefed Up.
Chiefs Kingdom, ACU crew, welcome back to another live podcast for that ass. It's Friday. It's Friday, Steve. We just wrapped up our first padded practice of the year, man. It is on. Football is back. We are so back, baby. We're so back.
Let's go. Everybody's been waiting for this one. They want to see what rees-zammit can do in some pads. That's all I've heard about for 3 months.
Oh, yeah. Well, we got a few clips of that. We got a few clips of it. We got some clips of them taking some handoffs. We got them doing some drills. Look, dude, I baited this one out with a little bit two surprising standouts from the Chiefs' first padded practice. And let's talk about who the two surprising standouts were today, because right off the rip, it was looking like it was going to be a defensive kind of day, and it was, Steve. The Chiefs did not look good offensively. Patrick Mahomes struggled today. He could not get on the same page as his wide receivers. The offense just was not in sync at all. Like, it just wasn't there. The defense was ready to eat. But the two guys that did stand out on the offense, Carson Wentz, which he's not one of my two here, but Carson Wentz had a pretty good day. I think the first one that stood out to me was Deneric Prince. Deneric Prince actually went out today, and they give him a lot of work. Let me bring up a few tweets about Deneric Prince. Nick Roche come out and said, like last year, the Chiefs are giving Deneric Prince a good long look. He's been splitting first-team reps with Pacheco and second-team reps with Clyde. So it looks like to me, Steve, Prince is the guy. We've been saying he might be the RB2, RB3, just however you look at Clyde, like whatever that is, third down back, RB2, whatever. But he's the next one in line. Like, that's the one they're looking at, favored slightly above Keontae Ingram, and probably a pretty good ways at this point above LRZ, to the dismay of everyone that loves LRZ.
Mike, I don't know how many times you can tell people he's going to be a special teams guy, but he's going to be a special teams guy. Will they use him on offense? Possibly. Will it be a lot? Absolutely not. Mike, I didn't see a whole lot of clips from him, and I'm sure you have some loaded and ready to show people.
Yeah.
But you'll see what we're talking about.
Yeah, there's plenty of those.
It is.
The other Prince thing, Nick Jacobs actually come out. Oh, you got something going. What do you got brewing?
You tell Nick Jacobs to wait when
Nick
Greg
Jacobs
Goodwin's in the house with a 50 bomb.
Let's go.
Oh, let's go, Greg.
Dropping a 50-piece right here.
Kicking it off right today.
I'd like to have a 50-piece chicken nugget right now, because it's lunchtime, baby. And we're in here working. Appreciate you, Greg.
Hell yeah, Greg. Thanks for the support, my man. But yeah, Nick Jacobs, he's allowed to come back now. We're going to keep Greg on the screen for a while.
Let's keep Greg. Greg sponsors this Nick Jacobs tweet. Prince getting a noticeable amount of reps with the ones in 9-on-7s and team drills. So that was two. Him and Nick Roche both made it a point that Deneric Prince was getting looks. And if I'm not mistaken, Harold Kuntz or someone else actually had tweeted out that the Deneric Prince hype might be back for this camp, if this is the case, because he had a little bit last year and then come back. And then the number two guy today, Steve, that I thought stood out a little bit and kind of strange. A lot of people has written him off, not being able to make the cut. He's on the wide receiver bubble for sure. But this is his time of the year, Steve. And his time of the year, we know who we're talking about. It's
Justin Ross.
Justin Ross. Sam McDowell tweeted out, Carson Wentz just cooked in his 2-minute drill setup, and he capped with a fade to Justin Ross in the end zone for a touchdown. Ross high-pointed the ball. Ross made it look super easy. And you want to know what's funny? Nobody expected it. Not a single clip has been shared on the internet of the Justin Ross touchdown to this point. If we can find it, we'll bring it up. But so far, nothing.
Yeah, which is kind of strange, because most of the time when you mention Justin Ross around a bunch of Chiefs fans, you're going to get at least half staff. Somebody.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be a little bit of horniness going on. But you haven't seen the video. That's weird. But either way, Justin Ross always does well in camp. I feel like he always does, and everybody gets a little excited about it. I'm not writing off Justin Ross. I think he has just as good a chance to make the roster as a handful of the other receivers. It's like the back end of that is pretty open.
The roster. That's what he could make.
Like the back end of that wide receiver room is pretty open, Mike. And Justin,
I'm with you.
Justin can totally make the team. I think so. So props to him for having a good day. It's a good day to have a good day, Mike.
Dude, first day of a padded practice, you want to go out there and stand out. Look, I thought Sky Moore had a little bit of a better day with the wide receivers today. He got hit hard today. He went over the middle and got completely freaking decked, just laid out by one of the safeties, I believe. And I don't remember who it was, but they had the audacity to retweet that clip and say, Sky Moore's had a pretty bad camp this year, man. It ain't getting better. I'm like, wait a second.
You know who it was. I know who it was right now.
He gets hit. Oh, I'm sorry. Getting hit's part of football.
First of all,
Sky
it's
Moore
funny.
gets hit and pops up. You give him the credit. You don't say he's got a bad camp because you get hit.
The actual tweet that you're talking about, there was at least 3 comments on there. It was like, why was this ball thrown, and why do you think this is Sky Moore's fault?
Exactly. Why?
Like, what are you talking about?
Everything is Sky Moore's fault, Steve. Sky Moore is on the.
Now I will tell you this:
he's on the crap list.
I don't know who the quarterback was at the time. Was it Mahomes?
I think it may have been Carson Wentz.
Even whoever it was, they don't like Sky Moore.
Oh yeah.
They were like, you know what? Let's get his head knocked off in the first day. First day of bed.
They were like, we only got J Watt out for a few days. He's day to day. They said, can we get Sky Moore out for a little while? I don't know what's happening, but they were leaving him out to dry. But anyway, Steve, let's play a few clips. We got Xavier Worthy back at practice today. So that's always a fun time, right?
They're so loud. Calm down, people.
They are loud. They're horned, man. They're horned up. They're ready to go. But look at this group. Who's going to be able to stop this group?
That kid screaming.
They're horned up for Xavier Worthy, man. 514 walking across through there. That's how many receptions they're going to have total in the year.
Mike, this is Legion of Zoom 2.0, baby. That's what's coming. I'm excited to see this group.
100%. They were also just completely fired up to be there. Look at him. Xavier
Worthy.
He's like, I got over strip. I'm dancing a little.
Look, man, Xavier Worthy's he's a dancer. Have you noticed?
Yeah,
he loves it.
He loves it, man.
That's good. We need one. We need another dancer.
We need something. Look, Xavier Worthy didn't make any big plays today, but let's jump right back into what happened. So soon as the Chiefs offense took the field in the first team drills, they come out firing like we knew they would. Adam Teicher says Mahomes' first pass of practice was another deep ball. Xavier Worthy deep, slightly overthrown and incomplete, but there was intent. Matt Derrick goes on to say Mahomes takes 2 deep shots to Xavier Worthy in the first 4 snaps of team period. They then go on to say Harold Kuntz in team. Mahomes goes to Worthy deep, first play incomplete. Josh Williams with a good coverage. Third play, he looks again deep for Cadarius Toney, also incomplete, Steve. So I told you they wasn't really on the same page today. They were out of sync.
I don't care. They're taking the shots.
Yeah, Mahomes and receivers could not get on the same page today. That was what we seen. But, boy, they were firing, and they were going deep, and they were trying to take the top off today. And that is what gets you a little fired up.
How do you get on the same page? You go out there and you do this kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's what camp's for. Like, get out there, fire the ball, see what we can do. I mean, let's be honest here. Even if you're in mid-season form, half the time those deep balls like that, everything's got to go your way.
Yeah.
I mean,
a lot of those are just uncatchable. You got to get everything to just go. If you're getting held slightly, it throws off the timing.
Right.
If a nice hard breeze blows, you know.
No, but I mean, just the fact that Patrick Mahomes is going to get back to that. Like in the recent years, after the cover 2 shell thing where it kind of stumped him, it almost seemed like it made him take his foot off the gas a little bit. It made him question his confidence throwing the deep ball. I think Andy's going to make sure that doesn't happen this year. I think that's been his point this whole time, even with the structure of the team, like Brett Veach drafting Xavier Worthy, getting Hollywood Brown. I think the writing's on the wall there, man. Like, we're going to get back to chunk plays. We're going to get back to deep passes. We're going to get back to a high-powered offense.
Early and often. Steve, you'll be happy to know this. Kingsley suamataia started out today as left tackle 1. He looked okay. He looked quick. He looked athletic. There was one play where he got after he got the second level and he had a nice seal block and let Deneric Prince find some daylight. He got to the second level one time and he caused Nick Bolton to not be able to make a play. So he did get out there. He showed why we drafted him. He showed what he was good at doing, which is to be athletic in the run blocking game. He struggled a little bit in pass protection. Look, he really did. When Wanye played with the second team, he looked a little bit better with pass protection. But I'll say this, there's a big caveat there. One was playing against the first team, one was playing against the second team. So I still think they're pretty much even. But I did like what Kingsley showed today. I've actually got a few clips of Kingsley in one-on-one drills. He was going up against Mike Dana. Uh-oh. Do we have a sponsor for this one too?
No, we don't. It's Greg Goodwin with the 2-bomb.
He's back.
Mikey says he's going through a tough separation. Pray for him. We're praying for you, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Ain't nothing fun about that.
Nothing fun about it, Greg. You have a good day.
We're here for you, though.
Yeah.
All chiefed up's here for you.
Let's talk about some football.
Hey,
Steve,
real quick,
yeah,
you mentioned something, and I think a lot of Chiefs Kingdom, a lot of football fans in general really need to keep it in mind. Like when they watch camp, they watch practices and stuff like that, they really get like horned up about certain players or this or that. Or I think sometimes you have to take a step back and remember, like, you have to put it in context. Like Amir Smith-Marsh said, man, last year in camp and in preseason, he's a freaking wide receiver one. He's the best receiver I've ever seen in my life. Look at all the stats he's putting up. Who's he going against?
Right.
Second team, third team, fourth team.
Isn't that though, Steve? Isn't
like,
this?
He's playing high schoolers.
That's what the fans do. That's being a fan. You're being a fan.
I get it,
like
but I'm
just
saying
from an objective standpoint because we have to.
Right, but I'm just saying from a fan standpoint, I think it's, you just have to slow down a little bit and take it with a grain of salt, put it in context, and I mean, you can't get too crazy about certain guys because then when they're getting cut or they're getting traded or they're not on the team, then they're left scratching their head like, wow, that person was amazing. What are we doing?
You have to kind of look at it in the regard as everybody last year. Chiefs Kingdom was very down on Clyde Edwards-Helaire. They didn't want him. They thought he could get cut. We answered that question 1,000 times in the preseason.
Mike, Sky Moore took that from him, okay?
Right.
He walked by and he said, hey, Clyde, give me that. I'll take it for a year or two.
But look, Clyde was there, and we kept saying, guys, they're not going to cut Clyde. It's the contract. It's just the familiarity with the offense. They're not going to do it. And then lo and behold, Clyde come in and had a pretty good year last year. He got back to being healthy. He got back to doing things the right way. And if everybody would have cut him, you miss a few plays. You know, that big old play he come down with in the end zone that time where he like skied up there and got that touchdown catch. There was a lot of things he did for us well. And I think the fans would have written him off, which is why we kind of say chill, on some of this this hate. They hate on Sky Moore like they're getting paid to do it, man. It's like it's your day job.
Like they're looking for things to get mad about. Yeah.
Like the one that tweeted it out today and said, oh, Sky Moore got hit going across the middle on a ball. He should. You know what? You should have said this. Sky Moore went out there in the deep middle of the field and took a crossing pattern that should have been thrown. He took a hit for the team. That's how you should be looking at it.
He popped back up, went right back at it.
Popped back up. Anyways, let's get back to this one-on-one really quick. Kingsley suamataia versus Mike Dana. Shout out to KC Sports Network for the good footage they provide. And here we go. You can see Dana just eat his lunch right there. Welcome to the NFL, rookie. And then he holds his own on rep number 2, Steve. He holds his own rep number 2. Right. But rep number 1, Mike Dana said, not today.
Yeah, there's no reason to worry here. Right? I mean, we had an offensive lineman on the show randomly one time, Darian Kennard. And what did he say, Mike, when we were talking to him? Probably the biggest thing that really blindsided him was the fact that the step from college football to the NFL is absolutely massive. It's the learning curve is huge. Like Kingsley has all the intangibles. Kingsley's going to be just fine. Like I'm really liking what I'm seeing from him so far. And I think, he's going to have a good battle with Wanye to take that one spot there. But I mean, like you said, had one play where he got blown up, turned around the next play and did exactly what he was supposed to do. So it's just a learning experience. And it's cool that the Chiefs have decent edge rushers to come over, like Mike Dana, whoever, to help this guy work out,
Dude, Kingsley, he showed why you drafted him. But lots of upside potential, a lot of athleticism, a lot of quickness. But adjusting to the NFL game speed is hard. Like we said, Mike Dana is a good pass rusher. Is he great? Not by any means. Is Mike Dana on the level of like a Bosa that you would have to face throughout the year as being Kingsley? Probably not. So we've got to step it up, and he will get there. This is the very first practice. And by the way, when you start putting pads on, it favors the defense more than the offense. It takes the offensive guys a little bit of time to catch up to that. Defensive guys, man, they've been chomping at the bit. I was talking to somebody today. I think it was Charles Goldman. I was like, dude, defense come out roaring to go. Why? They've been watching pass camp for 2 months. Like, they want to eat a little bit. They want to have some fun. So they were ready. They were fired up today. But let's look at some reps with Felix.
Hey.
FAU had himself a day.
Before we get to Felix's big day, I want to tell everybody thanks for being here. We're here a little early today, a little impromptu live. Figured we'd cover camp a little bit. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 50,000 subscribers before the Super Bowl, so help your boys out. And also, if you're watching, hit that like button. It takes 2 seconds. It'll help get this out to more people, and appreciate you guys for being here. Mike, let's talk about Felix, because people...
Well, we got some Felix clips right
Don't
here.
you cut me off when I'm talking about Felix, okay?
You ain't never want to stop talking about Felix.
Look.
Felix had some pretty good reps today. Felix looked pretty good today, actually.
I was just going to say before I was rudely interrupted by the video, that's been a big talking point, man. Felix kind of has that stigma too, where like, oh man, he's a bust. Like the impatient, exactly, the impatient random fan.
I said it at times last year that I would have loved to have seen more out of him. Like, I really did. I wanted to see more. He got a lot more reps early in the year because of the Omenihu suspension, and I kind of thought that would help his progression, but it really didn't. By the way, though, when we did need him in the Super Bowl, he stepped up and made a pretty good play here and there.
Felix has all the tools, man. That's all there is to it.
Right. Ron Kopp tweeted out, looks like FAU's hands have gotten stronger. Quicker to disengage from blocks, more effective ripping through. Always had the technique, needed to get stronger. Good progress by my eye. I hope Ron Kopp's got a good eye there, Steve. I hope it's good. But PJ Green tweets out that Andy says this about Felix. He said he's more comfortable with his get off and more confident with his go round this camp. It was evident today. He had a very good day. So Felix stepping up on day one. Felix answered the question that I told you I was looking for as soon as pads come on. I wanted to see if Felix would be physical, get after it, and prove his worth last year, being a first-round draft pick. And he kind of answered it day one, so I'm kind of proud of Felix today.
Yeah, but you got to watch out how you're talking about Felix, though. Y'all keep talking about his strong hands and his get-off being awesome, and Julie is going to get a little crazy in the chat.
He has an erection.
No, man, I'm super excited about Felix, though, for real. Like,
we got to stop the horniness at 1 p.m. in the
okay,
afternoon.
no more.
It's too early.
No more. Anyway, maybe do you have a Blue Chew for breakfast?
No, ain't nobody eating Blue Chew for breakfast. Like, we ain't having Blue Cheerios.
No, but Felix, like, the progression is what you want to see. Like last year, I thought a lot of people were disappointed because they thought, oh, we're taking this guy with the first-round pick. He's going to come out and have 10 sacks in his rookie season. Like, we even thought they had a potential to hit like 6, 7, 8 sacks last year in his rookie season. Little did we know he would barely get used. So I think this year, just seeing some kind of step forward, some kind of progress will be sufficient for me. I don't know what it'll take for fans to kind of get off his back because we know that, a lot of people are a little harder on these younger guys than others, but I think Felix could have a really solid year, especially with Charles Omenihu. It's going to be a while before he gets back, so I think Felix is going to get his chance to shine.
Right. The one thing I noticed today, sticking on the defensive theme, was the starters that they threw out, like right off the rip. Kopp again says that their starting personnel was Josh Williams, Najee Johnson, and Trent McDuffie. And Najee and Josh Williams were actually playing the boundaries, and McDuffie was in the slot, cooking corner at the safeties. So even with McDuffie on the field, he still don't just have to be, he don't have to be the outside guy. Like, they are still very comfortable lining up these guys, and if Jalen Watson were healthy, they would feel comfortable putting him out there on the boundary as well. So I think McDuffie he's still going to have several reps within the slot. So I think he's going to be a fine nickel corner. You've also got Shamari Connor that can come down. You're going to have Jaden Hicks that can do that. Spags is going to have so much fun. And that is the one thing I noticed. Number 2 with the defense, they were throwing 3-3 fronts at people. Leo was rushing. He was coming off the edge just rushing as a linebacker, but he was a down position linebacker. or a down position. He had his hand in the dirt sometimes today. So they were trying lots of things, and we kind of said that Leo this year 3 for Leo, may be that year that they start very much experimenting with what he can do and getting after it, because I think he's more comfortable. I think he's got the playbook down. He understands the system, the concepts. I think Leo could have a big jump this year.
Yeah, shout out Chris Wright. Our boy, he says, up fam, been AWOL for a bit, pumped to get this season rolling. Been a member for a year now.
Let's go.
Probably longer, but, YouTube decided to go slap nut on everybody. But, yeah, Mike, talking about the corners, I know you skipped through a bunch of positions right there in one time, but I'm going to go back. The corners. You were talking about McDuffie not having to be on the outside all the time. I totally agree. I think we saw that in the first 2 years of Josh Williams and Justin Watson, or Jalen Watson, I'm sorry. They're not afraid to put them against the best of the best. They matched up Josh Williams straight ahead with Jamar Chase. They'll put them on whoever. They don't care. Spags has the trust in those guys. I think he has confidence that they can do the job. So I don't think you're necessarily going to see McDuffie shadowing a wide receiver 1 like you saw them do a few times with Snead last year. To be honest, I think the only reason they did it with Snead last year is because Snead's a little physically imposing and he was bullying people. Like, McDuffie's not that. But could Josh Williams get there? Yeah, I think so. So, I don't know. We'll see how that all plays out.
I thought all the corners looked pretty good today. The one corner that I said that needed to step up because they have had I don't want to say a bad camp. It's been a non-existent camp, to be honest, at least from an outside perspective. We're not really seeing a lot of highlights from Kelvin Joseph, but we're hearing a lot of internal rumblings that Kelvin Joseph is impressing the coaching staff. The one that we're not hearing about coaching staff or we're getting highlights from or fan buzz about is Nick Jones, last year's 7th round pick.
Yeah.
And Nick Jones is right there on the bubble, yet again, right there on the bubble. And here's a rep of Nick Jones guarding Nico Remigio.
Chris Wright said I was one of the day ones. He was. Chris Wright was around since the beginning of this bad boy. And we have a lot of people in the chat that have been, so shout out. And real quick, before you get to those clips, I just wanted to catch this real quick. We got a 2-bomb from Doug. This is exciting times, Chiefs Kingdom. Heck yeah, baby. It's football season, Doug. We're getting ready to see who's going to be on this roster this year for the 3-peat. So that's exciting. Appreciate the 2, my man. And then freaking Chris Wright. I got to play a little noise for him. You like that? What is happening? Nah, he did that. 10 freaking gifted memberships, brother. Appreciate you, my man. If you guys get any of those memberships from Chris, make sure to thank him in the chat. But shout out Chris Wright, man. You've been a supporter, since day one. So you're awesome, brother.
Dude, by the way, those memberships, you guys now have a chance. You now have a chance to grab members only. We're giving away a Rashee Rice jersey.
Signed.
To all the members. A signed Rashee Rice jersey, by the way.
Customized, signed,
Customized
whatever.
ACU Rashee Rice jersey. It's going to be awesome. That's going to be given away sometime in August. So be on the lookout for that. And by the way, if you didn't get one of those gifted and you just want to have a chance at it, $4.99. Not to mention, if you love signed jerseys and you just want a chance at it, our Patreon is $1. Patreon.com/allchiefedup. We're giving away a Toney Richardson signed jersey over there this month. So you've got a chance to get the Toney Richardson jersey signed. You've got a chance to get a Rashee Rice jersey signed. You may win both of them, and it might cost you $6. Like that, there is no deal better. You can't even get a gallon of gas.
It's like playing the Chiefs lottery, baby. No, but not to mention that's just the perks of it, right? Also here on YouTube, you get the cool emojis. How are you supposed to put a slap nut emoji if you're not a member?
How can you ever talk about how can you ever talk about Jamar Chase if you don't have the slap nut emoji?
Right. Appreciate that, Chris Wright, though. For real, man.
Appreciate you, brother. You legend. Steve, let's get back to the clip. Every time I go to play a clip, you want to do something else. Everybody wants to watch
Mike,
clips. You want to do something
else. You're all
else.
business today, okay? I'm trying to talk to the people sometimes, and you're so into this. You're all business. It's like you're on a time limit.
I want camp.
Mike,
they want camp. We want camp.
All right, go ahead.
Football, Steve.
I'm going to fix this little ticker at the bottom to say Chris Wright and Greg Goodwin while you play a clip.
Go for it. This is the clip. Nico Remigio versus Nick Jones before I was interrupted by all that goodness. Here we go. You're going to see Nico just get kind of hammered off the line. Look at him recover. And then look at that snag. Look at that snag. He just went up and grabbed it. And then the second rep right here. Come on now. Come on now. That was versus Josh Williams that time, I think. So the first one, I think, was against Nick Jones. Second was against Josh Williams. He beat them both. Nico's having himself a day. You know what I said about Nico? And not just a day, a camp Nico's having right now. When Jay Watt got injured with the foot, Nico was given more responsibility, and he come in, and Mahomes looked to him, and he caught the ball. So Nico is there. He's knocking at the door. Nico's like this. He's like, look, there's a bubble going on. He's like, hello, I'm here. The presence of Nico, just showing us his presence. He's trying to break through that bubble. He's trying to get out. He's like, oh, help me. Like, it's crazy. But Nico's making himself known, and he just, every day in, day out, he works hard, man.
Yeah, man. Patrick Mahomes had good things to say about Nico Remigio today. I just think that Nico's doing the work. And here's the tweet right here. Charles Goldman says, quarterback Patrick Mahomes calls wide receiver Nico Remigio a true pro's pro, and says he just works extremely hard. He's always asked the right questions. He always wants to get extra work. Comes to work every day with a smile on his face. Yeah, that's what it takes, man. These young guys, it's all about the perception on things. Like, I mean, get out there, enjoy it, have fun with it, but be eager to learn at the same time. I think that goes a long way, because I think there's a lot of vets out there that are willing to give you bits of knowledge and little nuggets here and there.
Haven't we seen this, though?
With George.
Time and time again, we've seen guys that don't have expectations and they don't have pressures. And they're the guys from the outside looking in with nothing to lose. They're the Cinderella teams in March Madness that can't miss the three. They're all this. That's what Nico is. Nico is on the outside looking in. He's got the talent to make the team. Of course he does. He was a baller in college. He comes in, he goes UDFA, but to be honest, he should have been drafted. I think I had like a 6th or 7th round grade on Nico Remigio. He should have been drafted. He was good at Cal before he transferred. The kid can flat out play, and by the way, special teams, he has got a lot of good special teams footage if you go all the way back to like Cal.
Right. Well,
these guys don't have any pressure, Steve, and you're seeing how pressure can affect things.
Oh, yeah,
Toney
for sure.
last year during the season. Sky Moore feels like the weight of the world's on him because all of Chiefs Kingdom's just like pitchforking him. So every day he's doing something stupid. He's dropping a ball. He's apparently today he got tackled. That makes him horrible. So you see the differences here, and I think when these guys can like loosen up a little bit, I think it gives them an advantage. To be honest.
Yeah, I agree. And to your point, I think he should have been drafted as well. I think that was, he kind of fell victim to teams always looking at like
RAS scores?
Yeah, RAS scores. How fast is this, shuttle? How fast is your 10-yard split? Like, everybody gets into the minute details of things, and they sometimes forget to sit back and watch the tape and be like, this guy is a freaking baller. Like, because if you watch,
they did it with Puka Nacua. He
right,
runs a 4.6, and everybody's like, "Oh, let that guy go to the 4th and 5th round." Like,
exactly. If you take out all that stuff and you just look at the tape, like Nico was a fantastic football player. He's an electric football player. He made plays. It's what he did. Nico's got a really good shot of squeezing onto this roster this year. Because, I mean, not only is he putting in the work, is he getting better. It sucks that he had to deal with that shoulder injury last year because he was well on his way last year. But
Steve,
like,
you wanted clarity at wide receiver, right? You've asked for this. You said we need some clarity beyond number 3.
Yeah.
So number 4, well, we were saying right off the rip, we thought Justin Watson could be that 4. And then we kind of were saying Cadarius, Toney, Sky Moore, 5 and 6. That's how it kind of looked before we all started all this camp stuff, right? Do you know who separated? Justin Watson's done an okay job of staying there. But Sky Moore's kind of drifted. But Cadarius Toney has came to this camp once he finally got here because he didn't show up anytime before mandatory OTAs. He didn't go to the voluntary ones. He wasn't doing it. But Cadarius Toney has actually come to this camp, Steve, and he looks, dare I say, healthy. He looks happy. He looks excited to be there. He's giving it his all. The coaches are finding ways to put him on the field. And, dude, he had the most reps of anybody today. He was running with the ones today. He was running with the twos today. Cadarius Toney had himself a day.
Well, I'm cheering for Cadarius Toney, and I do think there's a lot left in the tank there. I think if they can get his head on straight, he's going to be a phenomenal football player. But don't let him fool you, because he does this every year. He's always the dancing, having fun, I'm happy to be here guy. He's always the everybody loves Cadarius Toney, and then all of a sudden he turns into,
Isn't it predicated off injuries, though?
No.
He's always having a good time until he gets injured.
You can say that, but I mean, here's the thing, and I could be dead wrong about this because I don't know for sure, and none of us do, except for the medical staff and Cadarius Toney. But I swear 90% of his injuries is like little bullshit that he could play. Now. I'm not kidding, though. Go back and look at it.
You think Cadarius Toney hypes up injuries to get out of practices?
I don't think he hypes them up, but I think if there's an opportunity to get paid for doing nothing, he's just like the rest of us.
I don't want to say that about
if you got paid days off work because you didn't feel good, you'd say you didn't feel good all the time, right? I mean, I'm not accusing anybody, but I'm just saying he has that stigma. People have been saying that about him since he got in the league because he can't stay healthy, and it's like he always has some kind of little nagging injury.
Is that a little unfair, though? Because, like you just said, you can't really.
I don't care if it's unfair. I don't care.
They have to trust team doctors. You think the doctors aren't being like, hey, man, you're not injured?
Mike, we got a two-bomb from Doug. He says, ACU, who are most excited to see at training camp? Ooh. So
when we go, who do I want to see in person? Steve, you already know who we're going to watch all day. It's going to be Matt Ariza. Every time we go.
Matt Ariza going to be kicking the hell out that ball.
Every time we go. There are two fields. If you've ever been to St. Joe, there's two fields. And we will pick a spot, and no matter where we go, after stretching begins, the team will go to the other end of the field, and we just have to look at punters the entire time.
Oh, whatever.
And then if we're like, let's walk over to the other side.
We didn't have to last year. Last year we didn't. I don't think.
We did. I caught a Harrison Butker kick because we're
that was after practice. He was just out there.
Dude, okay, who am I excited to see, Steve? We were excited to see Nico last year, but we also cursed him a little bit. He got injured.
The day we showed up.
The day we showed up. Hell of a play, by the way, up the sideline. He was working on one-on-one drills and just busted somebody. And then he landed on that collarbone shoulder. So, I don't know who I'm super excited to see.
I've got one.
Well, who you got?
The defensive tackle, the UDFA. Fabian
Levet. I thought you were going to say Alex Gubner.
No.
Yeah, let's go to Montana.
No. Fabian Levet is a big dude.
He's massive.
This is also a dude that we thought should have been drafted. Like, this guy is good. And I think that we have some, like, a lot of times it gets overlooked, but I think we do have a slight hole at defensive tackle. We can forget about it because we have Chris Jones. So it's like, I'll just throw somebody beside Chris and we're going to be okay. It's like, well, that's not going to be the case in 3-4 years from now. We've got to keep developing these guys and having really good defensive tackles.
Right. Do you think
he seems promising
can make
to
the team, though?
I don't know. That's what I want to see. I'm excited about him. I think he's a big dude. He looked good in his college tape. Mike, you were on him. Like, we thought he was going to get drafted. He didn't. And literally right after the draft was over, you were like, hey, there's a UDFA we can look at. And they did. And I don't know, man. I think it'd be cool to see what he can do.
I actually had Fabian Levet. Honestly, he almost broke into my top 10 defensive tackles because he is more of a nose tackle. I think that's kind of why he fell down the board. A lot of teams don't want to go to that big nose tackle. But the Chiefs kind of like that. They want to draft that all the time. And it's kind of weird because you're like, why do they just keep wanting a nose tackle?
Right.
Like, we don't really run a 3-4, but they want that big-bodied run stuffer like the Mike Pennell, the Derek Nottie. They want that.
I wonder if that's like it kind of predates Spags. So I thought like maybe it was something he likes to have. Since you have like one really good pass rushing defensive tackle, he likes to have that anchor in the middle too. But I mean, it kind of predates him. But our boy Yogi's in the house.
Right.
What's up, Yogi? Member for 9 months now. We appreciate you, my man. He says, I don't really care about 4 to 6 wide receivers. Just that the first 3 will be healthy and available. I think I kind of agree with the sentiment Yogi's throwing out here. If let's say Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice. If those three are healthy and available all year, and the Chiefs decide not to shift out wide receivers like they're hockey players, then I think you're good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm right there with him.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, but I think the Chiefs are going to do that. I'm back on board that I think we may go ahead and take 7 again.
Who knows at this point?
Because there's a lot of talent, and again, there's a lot of talent here that we cannot sneak to the practice squad.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, Sky, Cadarius, Justin Ross. If any of those three go to the practice squad, they gone.
Yeah, I think somebody puts in a claim for him.
They're gone. Nico Remigio at this point, if he goes to the practice squad, somebody's probably going to sniff this guy out.
At him. Yep.
So, I mean, we have, like, a lot of guys that if we are not careful, and like, that's the thing. Do they even care? Like, because, you know, like, if the team was anything like the fan base with Sky Moore, Cadarius, Toney, they'd say, well, just tell them to go home and quit, you know? Like, so, I mean, if they care, there's a lot of guys that they have to be careful with who they place on that practice squad.
Would it be smart of the Chiefs, and I'm not saying they're doing this, and I'm not saying this happens at all, but would it be smart of the Chiefs to have, like, what are they called? Like, I want social media infiltrators. I want plants.
You want spies?
No, I don't want spies. I want plants within the hype machine. And every year, I just hype up players that I know I'm not going to take to my roster. But if we can hype them enough on the internet, maybe we can trade them. Like, do you think?
So
do you think the Chiefs would entertain a trade offer right now? We know they would entertain a trade offer. I think for.
Are you trying to George Soros the fan base here?
Maybe, but look, I think they would. Look, I think the Chiefs would take trade offers on. I honestly think they would take a trade offer on Justin Watson if it was nice enough. I think they'd listen. I think they'd listen to a Cadarius Toney. They'd listen to a Sky Moore.
Nobody wants to trade for Justin Watson, I don't think.
Well, I'm just saying they would listen if somebody wanted to. I think they're going to listen to everybody but the top 3.
Do you kind of feel like, I don't mean to cut you off, but do you kind of feel like McCole Hardman and Justin Watson are both guys that, like, their value is nothing outside of Kansas City, but in Kansas City they're decent pieces?
I honestly don't think Justin Watson's viewed like that. I honestly think there's coaches and coaching staffs out there that could say that he would be a serviceable wide receiver 3 in their offense.
I agree, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like they're kind of those players that are just like McCole Hardman outside of Kansas City, I don't think has much of a career.
Well, he didn't have much look. He claimed he had interest this time, and he chose to come back to the Chiefs. If you had interest,
he did not, Mike.
Yeah, he just signed like.
He claimed last offseason that he had interest, and he was out there trying to shop himself with his practice footage on Twitter.
Just this morning, somebody commented on our video.
Come on,
and I didn't save it, but the cat said this. They said I might be in the minority here, but I think McCole Hardman is a lock on this team.
I wouldn't doubt that. I wouldn't doubt that a bit.
Would you make look if you're picking players? Is McCole Hardman a lock for you right now?
If I'm picking it, no.
If we take 6 people, I don't. If we took 7, I couldn't call him a lock, to be honest.
I can't do it, man. Chris Wright with the 10 bomb says, I'm curious about Steele and LRZ. Hurned up, boys.
Well, look, let's get to some LRZ for you then. How about that?
Let's do it. I think a lot of people are horned up about these two.
Look, nobody caught the very first LRZ carry, but we did catch him in a running back drill, so here we go. These are wide receivers and running backs. So you see Xavier Worthy come through the gauntlet. And then I can't make out who that is. It kind of looks like a tight end. But here comes LRZ right now. LRZ looked pretty good getting through that. High knees. He had the ball high and tight.
Hey, you don't have the video of LRZ taking a handoff?
I do. It's coming up right now.
Okay, here we go.
This is LRZ's second carry. We weren't able to get the first carry on.
Boink.
But here it is.
Welcome to the league, buddy.
Welcome to the league. He ran just a little upright right there and got completely lambasted. Somebody on the defense that tackled him almost killed themselves.
There are 2 guys that are a little,
that's a big old defensive tackle right there. I want to watch that again. That big old defensive tackle lit him up in the hole. Let's watch it again.
Yeah, play it again. A lot of people talk about LRZ. Oh, he's a rugby player. He's going to be tough. That don't mean they're not going to pick him up and slam him down, buddy.
Dude, he got to get hard there. Number 98? Is that Turk?
I don't know.
Who took that?
Dude, who big guys just drilled
No,
him?
no,
But
no,
look,
no.
LRZ popped right up. To his credit, he pops right up. He keeps going. I don't think LRZ's got any. There is no question in my mind that he's not a tough SOB. Like, he's going to get up and he's going to dish it out. He's going to take hits all day long. He's going to give hits all day. LRZ's completely fine. I just don't think LRZ has enough football instinct right now to make a huge impact. But that's not saying he couldn't even make big splash plays. Look, if you put him in on a third down just one random time in the preseason, pitch him the ball to the corner, he could make two guys miss and go to the house. He could house it from 80. That doesn't mean he's ready to step in and have a full-time workload.
Tell me if this is a bad comparison. I mean, it very well could be, and I'm just kind of, and I'm kind of dumb.
Preface it, I think.
I don't know, but like to me, it's like rugby to football, like with the LRZ thing. Like, you know how like when there's like a really badass UFC fighter, like Conor McGregor, and they're like let's have him go box. Let's put him in boxing. And everybody's like, man, he's going to beat the hell out of that boxer,
Kind
man.
of like everybody.
He's so
Jake
tough.
Paul fights, right?
He's so tough. He's going to beat the hell out of him. It's no contest. But you put him in those rules. You confine him into these rules, and then Floyd Mayweather toys with him. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't think it's so much that he's a tough guy and he did this in rugby and he did that in rugby. But you put him in within the football rules in a whole different world. You got to learn the game, or else you're going to be behind. Like,
the funny
I don't
thing
know.
is, he admits it. The coaches admit it. The players, his teammates admit it. The only people that's not really wanting to admit it is kind of the fans, but they're just a little horned up. That's what they do. But look, LRZ, he done okay today. He had a few carries. We finally did get to see him. Congratulations. Like, everybody's been kind of panicking because he's nowhere to be found. A few more things to talk about with camp, and then we'll open this up and we'll start taking some questions from everybody because we've just kind of been giving you the camp rundown. Again, we're a little early today. We appreciate it. So you guys, no matter where you're watching, you can watch on Instagram, you can watch on X, you can watch on Facebook, and more importantly, subscribe if you're on YouTube because your boys are out here doing the Lord's work, bringing you some camp coverage. So go ahead and do that. We're trying to get to 50K subs by the end of the year. And to be honest, I think we may get to 50K subs by like Halloween if we can pick it up.
You think
if
we're going to beat it? We're going to beat that goal?
Got to get that Halloween. We got to get weaned up. Let's go. So hit that sub button, hit
Hey,
that like
man.
button too. Push us out to more people.
It's coming. Weaned up.
What?
I feel like that's going to be the Halloween saying around here.
Weaned up episode.
Dag on it.
Let's talk a few more things to talk about with camp today, Steve. I went back. I didn't get to show the what?
I'm going to cut you off because that's what I've been doing all day.
Because I was about to play a clip, and God knows you can't take it.
Mike, we got a 2-bomb
Let's
for freaking
go.
Doug. Okay, I wanted to talk about this real quick. He said ACU was worthy. Was right. Worthy can run really good routes. Yeah. Just to point that out real quick, and I'm going to let you go ahead. Appreciate the 2-bomb, Doug.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Worthy is much more than a speed guy. Mahomes even said that today.
Yes. When you watched his film, did I think Worthy was a first-round pick? I did not. I will still stand on that. I think Worthy was a second-round guy. I had him somewhere in my 30 to 40 range.
That 40 time pushed him up into the first round.
The 40 time did push him into the first. And we said that would happen too. We said the 40 time would horn someone up and they would do it. And lo and behold, Brett Veach is the king of 40 time horn. Okay. He was leading the pack. He was straight, the root was rooting. That's what happens. So, look, we knew it was going to happen, and Brett Veach got his hands on him. And I do think he's good with this offense. I do think he fits in. So once I seen that, I did go back and watch his film. And yes, he does run decent routes. He's not just a go get the ball deep. He's not a gimmick guy. Like, that kid can play. And the reason is he produced for 3 seasons in Texas. As a freshman, he produced in a Texas offense that played some great competition. So yes, Doug, Worthy is going to surprise some people with the fact that he can run routes. He's very good at sinking his hips. He's quick. He's agile. He can sell routes. He can play. He's good at his route stems. He knows how to set people up. The dude can flat out play the game. But let's go ahead, okay, and let's go to the other thing.
I'll let you do it. I'll let you do it. Go ahead.
I wanted to talk about KT just a little more because we alluded to the fact that he was having he had a decent day today. He's had a decent camp so far. But everybody else is noticing this too. Nate Taylor tweets today, something noteworthy. Cadarius Toney is getting plenty of reps with the projected starters. Nick Roche comes out to say Toney is getting a ton of targets today. running with the first and the second team. So whether it was Mahomes or Carson Wentz, they were firing at Toney. Toney was playing with the first team. He was playing with the second team. He was out there a lot. So I think Cadarius Toney right now might be the guy that they are setting up in case of a Rashee Rice suspension. You might have a Cadarius Toney fills that role a little bit, as much as they can. And also Xavier Worthy, the learning curve. Maybe he's got to rotate in and out. That might be a KT spot as well. So I didn't want that to go to waste. Like, KT is really getting looks by this coaching staff, and that's what I was trying to say. We thought he was a lock to make the team. We've said this from the beginning. He's got a better chance of making the team right now by far than Sky Moore does.
Hey, can I say something real quick? Like, what is Chiefs Kingdom want to do? Because tell me this ain't something that Andy Reid will do. Here everybody is all offseason talking about, man, I can't wait to watch these wide receivers, man. Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice. And then when you get out to the first game, you don't see Xavier Worthy on the field yet. Cadarius Toney's out there. You see Sky Moore getting implemented in. And it's like everybody is just mass confusion. Like, well, where's Xavier Worthy? Like, well, he's a rookie wide receiver, man. We'll see how it goes. But would that surprise you at all?
Honestly, no.
Like, me neither.
You don't know what Andy is going to do.
I'm not saying that's what's going to happen.
Card, isn't he?
I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but it could. And it would not surprise me.
So I alluded to the fact that I thought Cadarius Toney, and I think you agree with me. And this is not dogging on Sky Moore, but if Sky Moore and Cadarius Toney was kind of that cluster at the 5-6, right now Cadarius Toney's more of a lock to make the bubble than Sky has been.
Sky's got some work to do.
He does. Now, with that being said, I wanted to bring this up because everybody just wants to talk about Sky's drops. All they want to do is talk about his shortcomings, and nobody wants to give him any kind of props when he gets it right. So again, not a Sky Moore lover, but Nick Jacobs tweets that Wentz with great touch on a fade route to Sky Moore. He dropped it in the basket perfectly. Josh Williams in coverage. So Sky Moore beats our number 2 corner on a fade route, catches the ball for a big play.
But it said it was a perfect pass, Mike. If it wasn't perfect, Sky Moore couldn't have caught it because he can't catch a football.
Right. There's always going to be some kind of a caveat to everything Sky Moore does. But I'm just wanting to throw it out that, look, pads came on today, and Sky Moore actually made a good play. Now, contrary to the person tweeting that he gets hit in the middle of the field and he had a bad day, I don't necessarily think Sky had a bad day today. I also overheard some coaches on the sideline. I was told this today, that there were some coaches on the sideline saying that when they were reviewing film for the past few days, they noticed that Sky Moore seemed to always be in the right positions, and that for some reason there's a disconnect with the quarterback.
Who's been saying that for 2 years?
Right. That was overheard today. And then it even got tweeted about. Somebody tweeted and was like, it seems like everything that goes to Sky Moore is just barely out of his reach. Like, how many times do you see Sky Moore almost catches a ball off his fingertips? He just couldn't get there. It's almost like he's a T-Rex walking around out here.
Yeah, we got to stretch his arms out.
He's like, I got a big head and little arms.
No, but a lot of people, that's the big thing. It's like, why is he still here? A lot of people are just done with him, right? And I think the best way to answer that question is he does a lot of little things right that the coaches like. Mike,
run blocker.
You've mentioned it before. Yeah, he's a very good run blocker. That's the only thing that kept MVS around, because he could run block. Like, so they love little things like that you don't necessarily see every play. You're not looking for that. Like, when you go watch tape of Sky Moore, you're not like, let's watch some tape with him run blocking. You know what I'm saying? So, like, they see little things here and there. And it's not just Sky Moore, but it'll be like that for every one of those receivers. And every little thing like that plays into if they stay on this roster or not.
Yeah, 100%. So just wanted to bring that up because I think, again, a lot of people don't like certain players and they dog on them. But for some reason, people are coming around a little bit with Toney.
TGZ said, I wanted a super chat so you could cut Mike off, but it wouldn't let me. YT is on Mike's side here.
Look, here's what I've done. I've shut them all off.
But are they? Are they, though? Because I got Doug with a 2-bomb. He says it might be 7 wide receivers because of the new kickoff rule. What do you think, Mike? Will that play a factor?
At first, I was just like on board that we were just going to go back to 6. Andy sometimes only would take 5. 6 was a little steep for Andy, and then last year they go to 7, and I thought it kind of threw off the chemistry. I kind of thought they went to like a hockey thing where they were just
as long as they're not
subbing.
doing that. Yeah.
But honestly, they may go to the 7. They may take that, considering that they do have a lot of talent. As long as a lot of these wide receivers can get out there and put their nose in on some of the special teams plays, I think they've got a good shot at making it as, like, say, a 6th corner, which I don't know how they're going to roll with that. Are they going to take 5 corners, 6 corners? You going to take 5 linebackers, 6 linebackers? They've got a lot to deal with this special teams rule. But I still think the special team rule's overhyped a little bit, right, though?
Yeah, I do think it is. I don't know if it'll play as big a factor in things as people are acting like it will. And another thing, Doug, with the kick return rule, like I feel like you might see more running backs out there as kick returners. Like we've used Pop for that. Like, so I mean, I don't know. We'll see, Doug. Appreciate the 2, my man.
Appreciate it, man.
It will be interesting to see how all that plays out. I know Tobe has big plans for all these new rules and stuff. So will it end up playing a factor? Maybe. Will they just start kicking the ball into the end zone and taking the ball in the 30 by the end of the year, like someone mentioned yesterday?
Possibility.
Yeah, it could happen. All right, back to what you were doing.
What was I doing?
I don't know. I had to cut you off.
Oh, well, hey, I do got a few more things. We all played this video yesterday. I'm going to play it again. I'm sure you've seen it by now. Here we go.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, hell.
So, word out of Vegas is the team is pissed that got out, that got leaked. It was leaked by a fan. So what had happened is, and this is the story I'm finding, a fan brought that. He also had an AI-generated T-shirt on with Mahomes kissing a referee.
Yeah, I saw the picture, yeah.
What kind of a loser? Like, you might as well be a Chief fan at this point if everything you do has to have something to do with the Chiefs on it. Like, you're wearing a shirt with Mahomes on it.
Right.
You're walking around with Mahomes Kermit. So, anyways, they come over to sign autographs.
He's more of a Chiefs hater than a Raiders fan.
Yes.
Okay.
So, he gives them that, and when they were over to sign autographs, and he took that on his phone, and they were just goofing around. By the way, don't goof around. Don't F around if you don't want to find out.
Yeah,
so
right.
They're going to find out because Mahomes responded to this today. But apparently, Vegas is freaking out, and Antonio Pierce did not like that a lot.
In very Mahomes-esque fashion, too.
Yeah, so Trey Taylor might get his ass cut a little bit. But here we go. Adam Teicher reports that Mahomes said he's seen the Kermit video, and he said stuff like that happens. It will get handled when it gets handled.
And goes on and just instantly goes on to the next question.
If that is not the Grim Reaper about the Reap, I don't know what is. We're going to beat them by 100 this year.
You know,
Get your popcorn ready. He's going crazy.
Some people have that. And usually it's the scary people. Like, you know, like a lot of people, like when something happens or something, they have to get out what they want to say.
Yeah.
Mahomes don't do that. He bottles it up and he will place it in his back pocket for a later date.
Boy,
and I love it.
Now that is circled on the calendar twice. I think actually he's going to save the biggest ass whooping for the game on Amazon Prime.
No mercy. Sweep the leg, Pat. Absolutely.
For sure.
Somebody's going to hit that guy.
I think he's saving the biggest blowout for the Amazon Prime game. I think he wants it to be broadcast live on stream to the world. He's going to go ham. I think with the Raiders this year, Mahomes will at minimum pass for 8 touchdowns against the Raiders this year.
He
That's
might
4
break.
per
He
game,
might. He might
go worse.
He might break some kind of record in a game against them.
Do you remember the whole Max Crosby "I'm here" thing
that they were making fun of just now?
roster.
Yeah, yeah.
What is going to happen? Do you think that maybe he brings out his own Mahomes Kermit puppet?
Do you think this Trey, whatever his name is, do you think he realizes, like, what if in the moment he was just like, oh, this is funny, Mahomes puppet, and he was like going, I'm here, and like now it's been turned into this, and he's like, damn, like what did I do?
That's exactly what the Raiders are claiming, that it was just all in good fun and blah blah blah. But it's no. Look, they have literally held on to that game. Like, they beat us like what have they beat? Mahomes has got like an 80% career winning percentage against them. He's lost like 2 games, I think, out of 10.
Well, they let that Christmas game go to their head, bro.
Yeah, they good night. I wanted to show this. This is the last thing from camp I really have. I got some more footage which we can watch. It's nothing great. It's
We'll
just
watch
some
it.
sled work and things. But I thought this was funny. This was tweeted out, and they spotted a guy in the crowd wearing a championship ring, but he's got a customized Pacheco jersey on. And
It says bites people.
like, come on.
I love it.
This might be picture of the day, right?
I love it.
Should we all get a bites people like?
I don't know.
Pacheco bites
Apparently, people get touchy if you copy their custom jerseys now.
Is that a thing?
I don't know. I saw a post yesterday on X where a guy was mad at QT. He's mad at Quick Trip because they
the
post
13-second.
Yeah, they posted a picture of his jersey as a post, and they didn't credit him. Like, what kind of sissy stuff is that?
They didn't credit him.
Like, what are you talking? Shut up, dude.
You know how many things we've come out and said that not a single person we even acknowledge we've said it.
Right? Who
If
cares?
we were
Get
that
used to
petty,
it, buddy. Get
hey,
used to it.
Get used to it, baby. Like it's not gonna happen.
I'm gonna get a 13 seconds jersey just to make that guy mad. Just wear it on here all the time. I'll wear it backwards, so it's like right
What?
here.
You're mad? Like over the 13-second? Like, come on, you didn't invent that, probably.
No, absolutely not. And that split jersey bites people. That's pretty good, though. I love it.
That's great, dude. Bites people.
What do you think about Pacheco? You think Pacheco breaks that 1K barrier this year?
Pacheco looks a lot, and it's weird because it's only a little bit of weight, but he looks like he lost a little weight, but he looks quicker. He looks lighter on his feet. He looks somehow, and I don't know how I'm saying this with a straight face, he looks more energetic. Good Lord, I don't even know how. He's like the Energizer bunnies on crack.
If I had like this much of his energy, I could get so much more stuff done.
Dude. But yeah, I think he's going to have a big year. I think if they implement him properly and he gets the required touches. Pacheco just don't get a lot of touches. Like, he don't get enough touches, to be honest. So
Right.
it's tough for him to hit the 1,000.
Tyree Wilson had it right. They should have took notes. Rico was saying, remember last year when
Yeah.
they asked him if they had a message for Mahomes? He said, nope.
I think that was on draft night, wasn't it?
Man,
They tried to bait him in on draft night. He didn't take the bait.
some people are smart and some people are not. This Trey guy, he's not the smartest.
No, he should have shut up.
Trey Taylor, is that his name?
Yeah, who was the people laughing? There had to be people in the crowd laughing. I think it was probably the dude. The dude laughing was probably the guy that brought the Kermit thing.
Yeah.
He's like, he sounded like freaking Kermit the Frog.
Well, it's
too,
funny
bro.
because the video out of context, you think it's them on the field with it, like the whole
Yeah,
team.
because it looks like it, right?
Yeah, so I mean, I get what the Raiders are coming back with, why it got deleted, and why they're saying, "Hey, it was this and that," but it's too late.
Internet's forever.
It's too late, buddy. You messed up, and now you're going to deal with it. Hey,
They
you
wrote
reap
some
what you
checks.
sow, Michael. Isn't that what our grandpa used to say all the time?
You know, what would Bear say?
This shit's got to cease.
It's got to cease, and that's what.
Why do we know
that's
so
what
many weird
the
people with
Raiders-
weird sayings when we were younger?
I don't know. It's just what happens, dude. But
Don't
anyways, we
poke the
appreciate you guys.
don't poke the goat with a stick, Mike.
For
Jay
sure.
Brown says.
We appreciate you guys. We're going to be here for maybe 10, 15 more minutes. Do not go anyway. If you're watching on Instagram, you're about to get cut off. I think they got a 60-minute time limit. You're about to go. So adios, Instagram. If you want to continue watching, come on over to YouTube, youtube.com/allchiefedup. Hit that sub button. Come on over, be part of the ACU crew. By the way, if you haven't already, hit the sub. If you're here, hit the like. Get it out to more people. Get some questions in for us. And again, become a member. $4.99. We're giving away in just a few weeks. We're giving away a
Signed
members
Rashee
only
Rice.
signed Rashee Rice jersey. Patreon.com/allchiefedup. Tons of new content over there as well. $1, and you got a chance to win a Toney Richardson, maybe the greatest fullback to ever frickin' grace the NFL. And he sent over an awesome looking signed jersey, the number 49, baby. So you can win that over there too. So appreciate you guys. And then one more thing, Steve, since we're throwing out some stuff and then we'll take some questions. If you guys are in the KC area and you're going to go to camp anytime soon, check this out. Get horned up because we're having Chew with the Crew 2 on August 7th. That is going to be a Wednesday night, 7 to 9 p.m. at Zarda in Blue Springs. you can come, you can get some food, you don't have to eat, you can mingle with all the people that you talk to in the chat, you can come say hi to us. We're going to have things there to give away. We're going to talk with people, we're going to take pictures, we're going to do whatever, we're going to hang out. And I think Lance from the Spoken's going to be there, and I think Trevor's actually going to show up with them again this year. I reached out to Haley the other day. A lot of people wanted Haley. Haley actually informed me that she will be out of town. She's going to be on a business trip, so she will not be able to make it this year. But we did send an invite out to Cole from How About Those Chiefs. He said he's going to try to be there. So we'll see.
He marked it on his calendar.
We'll see if he really wants to come meet you guys or if he hates you. We're going to find out. No, I'm joking. He may be busy too. Who knows? But he does know about it. So, and also Jason Dunn said if he's in KC, he may swing by. Ex-Chiefs tight end, Chief concerns. Come on, baby.
That'd be cool.
Like, that would be pretty sick, too. So, yeah, it's going to be a good time. Come on out.
Do it to it, Lars. I can't wait to go to camp and see the guys this year in person.
To see the peoples, you know, just hanging with the people.
I hope it's not hot, though. Like, I hope, like, last year, we got really lucky when we went to camp because the weather was great. It was like 60 and sunny.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be hot. Hot as balls next week. I think next week they're projecting like 90s and 100s. So let's hope that a cool front comes through before we get there. TGZ finally on my side. He said, let's see some more of those videos you say you have.
All right.
Okay, let me go find them. Let's bring them up. They're nothing special, but I know you're lying.
I'm just kidding. I was kidding.
Okay, we got some sled work out here. We'll get that going. Got a little sled work action. KC Sports Network again.
Get it?
Shout out. Some good footage they provide us all with. Pretty cool. I guess there's some kind of I don't think they're media credentialed though, because I seen where Pete Sweeney come out yesterday and he was like, media credentialed have been informed that we're not allowed to show practice. And I was like, KC Network was like, F it. I wish
they don't care.
But I don't know if they're actually credentialed.
Don't tell me what to do, devil woman.
Right. So either way, they're either badass because they don't care and they're just like, suck it. Or they're just like, they're not media credentialed. But by the way, dude, hitting the sled today, look, I bet this had Andy horned up.
Oh, I guarantee it.
7 sled working, baby. He was horned.
Andy Heck's horned up.
Yeah, here comes Oladokin out here. This is team number 3, and look who's in the backfield. We'll hand off to LRZ right there with team 3. Jared Wiley out there with team 3, by the way, if you caught that one. So a lot of people saying Jared Wiley's taking over number 2 already. Well, Pat's come on first day. Lo and behold, he's team 3.
Right.
The last video, and this one's kind of a fun one. I'll click it here. Here we go.
What do we got?
This one we got Mahomes, a little scramble action. This is one of the better
plays
on the day.
Field.
He finds Kelsey, and Kelsey does what he does best. Flips it to
what are you doing?
To Pacheco. And the official blew it dead. Let's
go
watch
back.
That again. The official blows this
why
dead until he
not
steps on the red line.
Oh, okay. I wasn't looking at the right thing either. I was like, why didn't he just keep going outside?
No, he said he steps on the red line, but I don't think he does.
Nope, he didn't.
I don't think he did. I think this official is just like, you know what? First day of practice, I'm not going to allow anybody to actually tackle anybody.
You know what I really wish for Pacheco? Like, he's an excellent player. Don't get me wrong. I love Isaiah Pacheco. I wish that kid had a little bit better field vision. He'd be so nasty.
Does he have the field vision? He just almost gets so fast he can't control himself sometimes.
I don't know. I noticed that with his college tape back when we watched his college tape before the draft, Mike, but
he's not elusive. I think his elusiveness rating was like a 30.
He had a tendency to run into the back of his blockers. He would miss holes here and there, and I'm just
he always wanted to kick it to the corner.
This kid is so good. Like, he has everything that you want in a running back. But I just wish his field vision was a little better. I'm not saying it's bad, but I do think he would be absolutely nasty.
Yeah,
I don't know if that can be taught either, you know? I don't know if it comes with time. Now, I did know he did get more patient over the years. So just the 2 years he's been in the league, he's definitely become a lot more patient, and he'll wait for blocks to develop because that was a problem that he had as well. So, I don't know. I think he's going to continue to get better.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to be fine. But, yeah, I do understand your point. Sometimes I think he just gets a little too fast, you know?
Yeah.
You know, some people do that. They'll talk too fast, and then they'll trip over their words, or their mind's going too quick, or I think he's all the above.
It's not about how you start the play, it's how you finish it, okay?
I feel like Pacheco's one of those guys that's got so much energy, just sits around like bouncing his knee all the time, like just twiddling his fingers.
Like he's anxious?
Yeah, I bet he's an anxious man.
Man, so like I said, it's not about how you start the play, it's how you finish it. If they need to have him watch a bunch of like heyday Le'Veon Bell tape and be like, do you see this? Like this guy would stop. Like he's looking, he's letting plays develop, and then he's still killing it. Like someone with the speed of Isaiah Pacheco, if
Wasn't
a little bit of
Bell,
patience.
he was almost too patient.
He was good though when he was good, and then he kind of fell
I'm
off.
gonna tell you what though, go back and watch a lot of Le'Veon Bell tape.
They do
and,
hold a lot.
That Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line got away with holding like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, if it was working, it was
He was
working.
allowed to sit there and let a play develop, and he didn't even go 3 inches forward.
Got a 2-bomb from our boy Doug. Doug, supporting big time today. Appreciate you, my man. He says, just to interrupt Magic Mike. Just playing. Hey, you know what?
It got me.
I wish I would have read that before I did it. That way I could have interrupted him. I'll get you, though, Doug. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, he'll get it.
I'm a pro at interrupting Mike. That's the only reason I'm here.
Yep. Yuck FoodTube said, yes, he is just a half step away from 20 huge runs, in my opinion.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. Doesn't it always seem like he makes one split decision, just it's like a little too late or the wrong decision, and then like he runs into the wrong spot, or he gets like, to be as powerful and a grindy runner as he is, there are times where he will get like shoestring tackled from the back or something. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like I've seen that a few times as well, and it kind of irritates
I
me.
think a lot of things play into it. But, I mean, overall, with the speed of Isaiah Pacheco, you would think he has more chunk plays than he does. He's probably only broke about 2 runs off in his entire 2 years.
Isn't it the one against the Jets? Was that his longest ever?
Yeah, probably. And then there was another one. I can't remember when it was. But there's been like 2 plays where he actually broke loose. But I think
This is
a lot
the
of it, I think it is too. I think it's going to come, it's coming to him. A little bit more patience. Like I said, the field vision, you got to see this stuff before it happens, right? And also, I love the fact that Pacheco is not afraid of contact. Like, he'll run straight into it, but I do think sometimes it gets him in trouble. Not necessarily in trouble, but it prevents him from big breakout plays.
Payback.
I was done.
Flanders, baby, with the gifted 1 membership.
Let's go,
Appreciate you,
Justin.
Justin, throwing out that gifted membership. If you guys get it, be sure to thank Justin.
Man,
Be sure-
Justin always
some
reminds me
legendaries
that
out
I
here.
need to be playing golf. I have not played golf all summer. And I see Justin's picture here, and I'm like,
Bro, we've not played golf in a long time.
I bet you I'm just complete ass cheeks right now. I probably couldn't
No,
even.
sometimes when you take a step back and you get out of it, you get out all your bad habits.
Maybe.
You'll focus a little bit more. I bet if we go out there, we both shoot. I guarantee I'm good to at least hit 90s.
Oh, I'll
Maybe
break.
80s.
We're breaking 90, bro.
Yeah, it's possible. I always tend to do a lot better when I don't play a long.
We're breaking
long
90,
time.
even after not playing for a year and a half, okay?
Yeah, that's probably true.
We'll take nothing. If we have to, we'll take mulligans, but we're not going to allow that, okay?
You're like, it don't matter what we shoot. You know what I'm going to write on that scorecard? 72.
No, man, I don't know. But see, we're more fall golfers. We're like, this heat's ridiculous. Let's just wait until fall.
Yeah.
And then they aerate
That's
the
true.
greens, and then I don't know. We have bad habits when it comes to golf.
It's true, man. VRum255 says, Vrum. I like it. Yeah, a lot of that had to do with our piss poor wide receivers last year. Easy to load a box. Yeah, that's true, but he didn't really chunk off a lot in his rookie season either. It's nothing bad about Pacheco.
Now,
it's
with
not a knock.
No, not at all. But with the guys that we have on the team this year, the ability to stretch the field, I think it will help. So I think he makes
I
a
think
good
this
point.
year they will not be able to stack boxes.
Absolutely.
Not even close are you going to be able to stack boxes.
No. Mike, we got another 5-bomb from our boy Callie. He says, I attended 4 games last year. We lost all 4. Should I stay away this season?
Callie, if you go to
Flush
another
it.
freaking game, we're going to hunt you down and lock you in a basement.
Look, man, I think you have to try to buck the trend because
I think you just go.
you can't just not go to Chiefs games. So
I'm going to take back my
what
statement.
you do, this is my advice. Now, it could turn into a Chiefs versus Broncos debacle last year. Who knows? But pick the game on the schedule where you think the Chiefs have a 98% chance of
Oh,
winning.
my God. Don't do that.
No, do exactly what I'm saying, Callie. Do that. Go to the game. They win the game, and then you restore confidence. You break the curse. And then we're good.
Don't do it. Look, do you know sometimes when you're supposed to win games and then you show up and you stink like the Raiders on Christmas. Those games hurt the worst. Don't jinx us out of an easy win.
Just don't go to the Christmas game.
Just stay home. Go ahead. If we're losing at halftime and you're watching it on stream, turn that stream off too. Like, you can do what you got to do. Change up a jersey.
Mike Kathy Welch says she shot 72 and 9.
I mean, we've all been there, haven't we?
Heck yeah, we have.
Some more than others.
Yeah, I think that's another thing with this Chiefs team. I think maybe they could, with the firepower they're going to have, Mike, they ought to be able to prevent like these stupid little games that they drop sometimes. Like, you don't have to let inferior teams hang around. You don't have to do that. Just put your foot on the throat and let's go. Get a good lead and ride it out if you have to, whatever. But just, I don't know. I think we could prevent a lot of that. A lot of the bad losses we've taken over the last couple of years has come from literally just stagnant offensive play. I mean, that's all it is.
Right. Well, I think a lot of the time, everybody's used to playing like Madden and stuff, right? Like a machine. You just score. But in reality,
it's not that easy.
Real humans have off days. And
You're
if
right.
Mahomes is ever having any sort of an off day, that puts a big old wrench in our plans because Andy will still throw the ball 66 times. So, you know, like today, look at practice today. We come out firing. I love the attitude of the offense, but they just didn't click. It just wasn't there today. They couldn't find it.
Absolutely. What's up, Tommy? Good to see you, my man. Glad you caught us today. Yeah, we're on at a different time, so I figured there'd be some different people that don't normally get to catch us live if we pop on during the day sometimes. So we try to do that from time to time. What better time to do it than camp?
Right. Nikki says, I went to that game last year on Christmas. So she's the one to blame, everybody.
So it's Nikki's fault that you ruined Christmas for everybody.
I can't believe you do that to us, Nikki.
Man, I was so pumped for that game last year, too. I was like, man, check this out. The Chiefs get to smack the Raiders on Christmas Day, and you can watch it on Nickelodeon with the what is it called? Like the slime and stuff. Like SpongeBob's going to be calling the game. I was so happy about it, and then they did that to me. Ruined my Christmas.
I taped the Nickelodeon one because I wanted to go back and watch like the stupid stuff.
Yeah. But you couldn't even watch it.
No, when we lost the game, I just went straight to it and hit delete. Didn't even care. You think I want to watch slime go on the field while we're losing?
Not while we're losing, no.
Right. I didn't want to see that crap. I said, good Lord, we're losing. I don't want to see SpongeBob talking about it.
Yeah.
You know the meaning that is?
It'd be a bad way to lose. What's up, Ethan?
SpongeBob talking crap to you while you're losing to the Raiders.
Chief KT says, I was at the Raider game too, and I told a Raider fan, thank you. We just won the Super Bowl. You're exactly right, Chief KT. I do think that was a spark that team needed last year, a little kick in the ass. If you get beat by an inferior rival team on the national stage on a holiday and ruin Christmas for you, your family, your fans, the world, like you got to come back from that in a big way. Just have to.
I agree. But, I think that's going to wrap it up for today, guys. We appreciate you guys being here. And, again, we got on here a little early. Just wanted to bring you some camp stuff as soon as we could get it out to you. It was early, but, we do appreciate it. Jeremiah, thanks for being here. By the way, who won Donor of the Day here?
Chris Wright with 60 smacks.
Chris Wright with an accumulative 60 smacks. So, Chris Wright, I've got your address, man. We're going to send you something out for being our top donor today. Appreciate it. You guys be sure and hit that like button. If you haven't already subscribed, this channel right here, we try to bring you guys news, insight, commentary, you name it. We're trying to bring you some Chiefs content, even in the slowest of slow times. Done it.
Yes. I got to do it one more time because freaking Ron, baby. Ron with the 5-bomb, doing the Lord's work, interrupting Mike. Hell yeah. Let's go. He says, try being at that cold ass game with the 15 Raiders fans behind you. Yeah, I guarantee it, dude. Like we went to, that was a few years back. It was when the Raiders had a decent year and the Chiefs were playing the Raiders on a Thursday night game. The winner was the winner of the AFC West. And there was actually a brawl up behind us. Do you remember? It went all over the internet. But
That
they were
lady
like,
that had her bra off.
there was like the 15 Raiders fans there, and of course they started a fight. You know,
Of course,
so I bet that did suck. Appreciate the 5, Ron. Thanks for the timely 5, by the way, that I got to interrupt Mike one more time.
Ron, I'd usually say thanks for the 5, but today I'm going to say I wish you would have held on to that. Always getting interrupted. No, I don't care. Appreciate you
TGZ,
guys.
not a big deal, my man. If you can, you can. If you can't, you can't. We're all good with it.
Yep.
We're just glad you're here watching.
Yeah, but yeah, that's going to do it today, man. We appreciate you guys. Be sure to follow us on our socials. By the way, all chiefed up on everything. We're trying to grow Facebook. So if you do Facebook, get over there and find us over there. We're trying to grow Instagram. If you do that, get over there. We're trying to grow TikTok before everybody bans it, okay?
X,
We're probably
get on X.
You know what's going to happen, Steve. We'll end up blowing up on TikTok one day before our government bans it because that's just our luck. That's the luck of all chiefed up.
We'll take down TikTok.
Yeah.
Single-handedly.
Single-handedly, I will take it down. But by the way, appreciate all you guys being here. Hit that like button on the way out. Hit that sub button. Steve, you got anything left for him?
Nah, appreciate you guys. Y'all have a good one.
Yeah, go Chiefs.
There goes a sight from my soul.